Hello my dear students, good afternoon. Now we will discuss about Rutherford atomic model. So previously we discussed about J.J. Thomson atomic model. So now we will discuss about Rutherford atomic model. So very important. So this is also called planetary model actually. Like how planets is revolving around the sun and electrons are revolving around the nucleus in circular paths which we call orbits or shells. So that was given by Mr. Rutherford. So what he did, he sent alpha rays. So I was given already what is alpha rays. Alpha rays are nothing but dipositive helium ions. Dipositive means He plus 2 ions. So 2He4 we are writing but no electrons. Understanding? So these alpha rays sent through gold foils. What he did? He was taken some gold foils, thin gold foils, very thin. Okay, gold foils means gold sheets. Through gold sheets, he sent alpha rays. That experiment he did. So what is the experiment first of all understood? So he was considered gold foils like this. So this is one gold foil and another gold foil like this. So two gold foils he was considered like this. And through gold foils he sent alpha rays. These are what sir actually? Gold foils. Through gold foils he sent what alpha rays like this. So he observed around 10,000 alpha rays. Maximum of the rays are passing through the gold foils. Maximum of the rays are passing through gold foils. But the rays which touches the center, they are just deflecting back in a same path. Means in which path they moved, in a same path they are coming back when they hits center of gold foil. So what he did is he was considered gold foils, and through the gold foils he sent alpha rays, and he observed the maximum of the rays are passing through the gold foils like this. So passing through the gold foils like this. All are passing except the rays which hits the center of the gold foil. So the ray which touches the center, that is just coming back like this. Actually I was shown in another direction, another path, but they are coming back in the same opposite direction they are coming. So in which way they moved? In the same manner actually. In this way they hit this center of gold foil, but in the same direction only they will go. But I cannot show you the deflection. So to show you the deflection, I was represented like this. Got it sir, everyone? So the rays which hits the center, they are coming back like this. Okay, so here also the ray which touches the center, that's coming back like this. So hits the center, then deflected back. So I repeat, the deflection will be in the same direction. So actually alpha rays, what these black color arrows are? Alpha rays. Alpha rays consist of what? Positive particles. Which positive particles? Helium positive particles. So alpha rays are positive. That means when they hit the center, they are coming back. That means, what is the meaning? This nucleus also consists of some positively charged particles. And the rays are moving or passing through the gold foils except the center. So, except the center, they consist of negative charge. What I said understood now? As they are positively charged, they means who? Mr. alpha rays. When they hits the center, they are deflecting back. Therefore, the nucleus also consists of positive charge because alpha rays are positively charged. So alpha rays are moving through the gold foils except the center. That means except the center, the remaining space occupied by Mr. Negative charge. That negative charge is due to presence of electrons. So final conclusion was given. What is that conclusion? Yes. In atom, nucleus consists of positive particles and around the nucleus some negative charged particles are present which are called electrons. He was concluded. So I repeat the final conclusion. So in Rutherford atomic model, what he did I was given. So final conclusion I am telling, in atom at exactly center there is a positive charge and around nucleus there will be a negative charge. So that negative charge around the nucleus is due to presence of electrons. So finally what he did, so draw the diagram, it's very important. So what he did and what he was given final conclusions, that's it. What he did with gold foils and considered alpha rays and alpha rays maximum are passing through the gold foil and one or two rays which touches the center they are deflecting back. So as alpha rays are positive, so they are deflecting back when hits the center. Therefore, center of atom is called nucleus. That nucleus consists of positively charged. So maximum of the rays except the nucleus they are passing through the gold foils. So they are having negatively charged particles around the nucleus. So what are the final conclusion he was given? Around nucleus electrons are revolving. Who are revolving, sir? Electrons. Electrons are moving, okay, in circular paths which are called in circular paths which called orbits or shells. Which called what, sir? Orbits or shells. That's the first thing. So electrons are moving in circular paths around the nucleus. I was forgot. Okay. So circular paths around the nucleus, which we call orbits or shells. So he was compared this atomic model, atom, as a planetary model. He was compared this atom with planetary model. Means he was considered electrons as planets and he was considered those nucleus as sun. So around the nucleus, how electrons are revolving, he explained how as planets revolving around sun. As planets revolving around the sun, okay, electrons are revolving around the nucleus. So that point was explained in this Rutherford atomic model. So he said except nucleus the remaining space of atom is empty and the total mass of atom is concentrating at center of atom. So what he said, except nucleus the remaining space of atom is empty, he said. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus in a particular circular paths or which we call orbits or shells. That's the first point. And except nucleus, the remaining space of atom is empty and volume of nucleus, okay, nucleus is negligible when compared with the volume of atom. It's very less, okay. And one more thing, total mass of atom is due to presence of due to presence of protons at where nucleus. Okay, so total mass of atom is due to presence of protons at nucleus, he said. But later Chadwick said that mass of atom is equals to both protons plus neutrons. He said. Chadwick concluded, not Rutherford. Rutherford said mass of atom is due to presence of protons, he said, and protons consist of positively charged and charge he was given correctly. Around the nucleus, electrons are revolving and they are consisting of negative charge, and how they are revolving in circular paths which we call orbits or shells, like that, he said. Got it? And except nucleus, remaining space of atom is empty, he said. And volume of nucleus is negligible when compared with volume of atom, he said. And total mass of atom is due to presence of protons, he said. But later on, Chadwick concluded that, my dear brother, the mass of atom is not only due to presence of protons, also neutrons. Neutrons do not give any charge. Charge is exclusively due to presence of protons, but mass of atom is due to presence of both protons and neutrons, he said. But here many good things he was given, like how electrons are revolving and nucleus consists of what, and one more simple thing also, just corrected by Chadwick, like mass of atom is equals to both protons and neutrons, he said. So many things came to know easily. Getting what I'm saying? But still some drawbacks are there in this. Okay, so this Rutherford atomic model was not given some energy and particular radius, those things he was not given. Whether atom is stable or not, he was not given. So some drawbacks are there. Understanding? So these are the merits actually which I was given, but some drawbacks also there in Mr. Rutherford atomic model. Okay, so you can check in our textbook also the particular drawbacks in Rutherford atomic model. Some merits also I was given. Just note it all these things by having screenshot. Okay, sir. So you have some clarity, I think so now. Atom consists of negative charge around the nucleus, and atom consists of positive charge at nucleus, and positive charge is due to presence of protons, but mass is due to both protons and neutrons. And one more thing, except, he said, except nucleus, the remaining space is empty, he said. So volume of atom is very much negligible when compared with volume of atom is negligible. No, volume of nucleus is negligible when compared with volume of atom. That I have given on previous, yes, that point. But come to the drawbacks. What are the drawbacks? Means mainly, as we know, neutrality. So atom is highly stable, but if electron is revolving in a spherical manner like this, so electron have to collapse in nucleus. So as it is a moving body, any moving body, we know, so I am a moving body, I am doing some work. So what will happen? Energy lose continuously. Certainly after some time, when my energy became zero, I will fall down. Correct? Like that, electron is revolving. Whether it is absorbing energy, releasing energy, that he was not explained properly. So as of we know, if any moving body is moving continuously, means it has to lose energy continuously. Certainly electron is moving like this and electron have to fall into the nucleus, then atom should collapse, but atoms are highly stable. This was not explained by Rutherford. And electronic spectrum, how electron transitions are taking place, that was not explained. Neutrality was explained, but stability was not explained, energy was not given, and radius of atom was not given. So those things was not explained by Mr. Rutherford. Okay, so this is about the Rutherford atomic model, and in just few classes after we will discuss about some more concepts, means more models like Bohr's atomic model we will discuss. And before that I'll tell you about one important thing, that is electromagnetic radiation. So atom, you have idea now. Atoms consist of different electrons, protons and neutrons. So what is atomic number I was given already, and what is mass number I was given. Do you know all those things? Atomic number, mass number, number of protons, number of neutrons, all I was given. If you want, I'll give you one more time, but later on. So electromagnetic radiation we have to discuss. Any charged body, if you oscillate, means if you hesitate, then that particle will create a wave. That particle will create a wave. Same, a charged body, if atom, means some metal, we take a metal sheet and we was oscillated that, and that create a wave in presence of electric field and magnetic field. So in that way, when a charged metal body, when you are oscillating, and that create a wave due to ejection of electron. Due to what, sir? Ejection of electron. So ejection of electron create a wave. That means from that you have some idea. What is that? Electrons have very small particles and have a dual nature, means that have a particle nature and that have a wave nature. So final thing here, what I am trying to tell you here, electrons are very small, so electrons have two natures. One is have a particle nature and wave nature. These things today I am explaining. So particle nature means okay. Wave nature we are discussing, electromagnetic radiation. Okay. So in that, to understand this, create a wave means this one. Creating a wave like this. Who is creating wave? When a charged body is oscillated in presence of electric field and magnetic field, they are creating a wave due to ejection of electrons. That means electrons have a wave nature like that. Get it? So here you have, this is a wave. Okay, and in presence of magnet, suppose this is the wave was created in presence of electric field. This is due to what's up? Electric field. And if you use a magnetic field, they will come like this. Like this. And this is a wave due to magnetic wave. So due to present electric field and magnetic field, both are perpendicular. So actually, suppose here this is the path of hesitating the particular metal sheet. Okay, so in this way I kept electric field, and in this way I will keep. So in this way I have path of metal sheet, and here I have electric field. So magnetic field like this. So electric field from top to bottom and magnetic field front to left, front to back. South pole, north pole, front, back, like that. Getting what I am saying? So here in presence of electric field and magnetic field, they create a wave. Who create wave? Electrons are creating wave. So finally you have one thing, that electron has a dual nature, both particle nature as well as wave nature. So they are creating a wave, and wave have some measurements. Wave parameters. So what we have to discuss now, wave parameters. So they are creating wave and they are perpendicular to each other, and there is no need of medium to travel these. Understanding? So in absence of means in vacuum also they can travel. All these things means when you are hesitating a charged body in presence of electric field and magnetic field. So wave parameters are what means to have that you must know what is this is the wave, and wave this we call crest, and this is called trough. Okay, crest, trough. This height of a crest or depth of a trough is called what, sir? Amplitude. What is that? Amplitude. What is the meaning of amplitude? The height of a crest or depth of a trough is called amplitude. So amplitude represent with A or psi. Amplitude represent with A or psi. So what is amplitude? Amplitude, simply you can write height of crest or depth of, okay, depth of this trough is called amplitude. So what is the units? Units, small units we use: picometer, nanometer, angstrom, micrometer. These we will use. Centimeters you can use, but you know that actually 1 angstrom is how much? 1 angstrom is 10 power minus 8 centimeter or 10 power minus 10 meters. 1 angstrom means. Next, 1 picometer means 10 power minus 10 centimeter or 10 power minus 12 meters. And 1 nanometer means 10 power minus 7 centimeter or 10 power minus 9 meters. So these three things. Micrometer means 10 power minus 9 centimeter, like that. Okay, so 1 angstrom is 10 power minus 8 centimeter or 10 power minus 10 meters. Mostly they will ask these. 1 picometer, 10 power minus 10 centimeter or 10 power minus 12 meters. 1 nanometer means 10 power minus 7 centimeter or 10 power minus 9 meters. Got it, sir? These are all very important. Second one is wavelength. Who is that? Wavelength. Wavelength means the distance between the distance between two successive crests or troughs, means here also. So here to here the distance or here to here the distance, that is called wavelength. So wavelength means how you can define now? The distance between two successive means what is the meaning? Two adjacent crusts or two adjacent troughs, that is called wavelength. And wavelength represented with lambda. Wavelength represented with what, sir? Lambda. Wavelength. So what is wavelength? Meaning the distance between two successive crusts or troughs is called wavelength. And wavelength also has units. Units is same, sir. Distance only, no? So picometer, nanometer, angstrom, these only wavelength means. And third one is wave number. Wavelength means you understood, no? Wavelength means the distance between two successive crests or troughs. Wave number is reciprocal to wavelength. Wave number represent with a nu bar. Nu, it's not V. Nu. N-E-U-L. Okay? Wave number means it is nu bar. Nu bar is reciprocal to wavelength. Wave number is a reciprocal to wavelength. Okay, that means don't say inverse. Inverse means like this. What is the meaning of reciprocal? If it is lambda is 10, then u bar is 1 by 10. This is called reciprocal. Inverse means one increase, one decrease. But reciprocal means the same magnitude but 1 by we will take. But magnitude will be different if we use inversely proportional to. Don't write nu bar is inversely proportional to wavelength. Inversely means the value what we take in 10 we cannot take here for inversely proportional. Means inversely proportional means what is the meaning? One increase and one decrease. But reciprocal means what is the meaning? If wavelength is x, then wave number is 1 by x. That's it. So we discussed about wave number. So wave number definition I was not given. So simply I was given a relation. Wave number is a reciprocal to wavelength I was given. Write down. I am not writing, but you have write. Wavelength means definition you have write. The distance between two successive crests or troughs. Wave number means you have write. Okay, wave number is a reciprocal to particular wavelength. And now definition is very important. What exactly definition? Very simple. The number of waves present in unit length. The number of waves present in unit length is called wave number. What is that? Wave number. Write down all these things, sir. Okay, have a screenshot and write down. So what we discussed, amplitude we discussed, and we discussed about electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic range also I will give you, don't worry. Okay, what cosmic rays too, that microwaves, TV waves, all I will give their ranges. Okay, but we must know first wave parameters, those are very important. So wave parameters why we are discussing, because electron has a dual nature. So for electron, what is wavelength? For electron, create a wave. What is wavelength? What is frequency? You must calculate or not. So that's why I was given. So what we discussed previously, wave number. Wave number is nu bar. What is nu bar? I said nu bar is equals to 1 by lambda. Formulas are important. From here you will get more formulas in atomic structure. Wave number means it is reciprocal to wavelength. One more definition I was given. What is that? The number of waves present in unit length. That is called wave number. Unit length means how much do you know? 1 centimeter. In 1 centimeter length, how many waves are present? That is called wave number. And last, for today, last, and time period, everything we will discuss in our next class. So now frequency. What is that? Frequency we represent with nu, not bar. Nu bar is wave number. Frequency. Okay. Frequency means the number of waves can be passed through a particular point. The number of waves can be passed through a particular. How many waves are passing through this particular point? This is the point. Through this point, how many waves are passing in a unit time? Means in second, per second. So what is frequency? I can say now, the number of waves can be passed through a particular point in 1 second is called frequency. So usually we use, what is the frequency of buses here? Means I am standing in a bus stop. I have to go Bangalore. So I'm asking to other person, what is the frequency of buses to go Bangalore? Means for every 5 minutes we will have one bus. Means to that point, so for every 5 minutes, one bus coming. That is the frequency of bus, a frequency of wave. So the number of waves can be passed through a particular point in 1 second is called frequency. But it's clearly. So frequency has formula. Nu is actually inversely proportional to wavelength. So length is less, more waves will come. Correct? If a wave is traveling long distance like this, so it takes more time. If wave is passing like this, fast, because so wavelength is less. Wavelength is less, so therefore frequency is more. So here wavelength is very high. Wavelength is very high, so frequency is very less. Getting what I am saying? So wavelength and frequency Frequency you can understand like this. Wavelength is inversely proportional to frequency, or frequency is inversely proportional to wavelength. Understood, sir? So nu is equals to, finally nu is equals to c by lambda. Nu is equals to what, sir? C by lambda, finally. So this is inversely proportional. Difference you understood? Nu bar is equals to 1 by lambda, reciprocal this is. But nu is inversely proportional. When inverse is there, when this proportionality symbol be taken, some constant we have to consider to equal. Okay, to equalize both, we have to take some constant. So finally you have one formula, that is nu is equals to c by lambda. What is c? You know everyone, that is velocity or speed of light. Velocity of light, or else you can call it as speed of light. What is its value? 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second, or 3 into 10 power 10 centimeter per second. This is c value. Okay, so time period. Time period is a reciprocal to frequency. Those all things tomorrow we will discuss.